Are you going to be flexing the entire intro?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just... No, go ahead. No. Uh-huh. Yeah. Why don't you hold that pose for like... I'll intro when I'm ready. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Worlds Apart, your favorite bi-weekly fucking muscle building podcast, I suppose.
I'm working on it.
Should I start wearing sleeveless shirts?
Dude, the only reason I'm wearing sleeveless is because it's hot as fuck in Australia right now.
Yeah, Australian summers in the middle of what, December, January, February.
Yeah,
it's honestly kind of awesome. It's the best time to go visit as someone who's functionally a lizard and gets to experience 110-degree heat in total comfort. I get to go visit down there when it's like freezing up here, which is nice.
I was talking to my friend Jay, who's from Ireland, and they asked, like, what does an Australian Christmas look like? Like, what does Santa do? Because obviously Santa, for you guys, he's sledding through snow and all this kind of stuff. And like,
that's a good question, actually. Yeah.
Our Santa's posted up on a beach with an umbrella and a sick singlet tan.
Canonically? Like, that's what you tell kids?
Oh, I mean, like, he still flies through the sky and all that kind of stuff, but he loves the beach.
Does he still have reindeer, or does he have, like, flying kangaroos or some fucked up shit?
Both.
Flying black bears?
Not even kidding. He has, like,
actually?
There's always depictions of him, like, on the beach with kangaroos surrounding him. Or there's, like, his reindeer are, like, dying in the heat. Hold on. What? I need to prove this as a point, because
is this, like, what's on your Christmas cards? Is
some of them
season's greetings, and it's like fucking 5 kangaroo passed out in a pile, and then Santa enjoying a barbecue of kangaroo meat.
You know, honestly, it wouldn't surprise me. Hold on, I want to make sure I have this, like, just so you know, I'm not lying. There's, like, old school photos of Santa. Also, do you want to finish the intro? Because we fully got distracted.
Oh shit! Yeah, hi. We don't do muscle building. We do world building. Hi, it's Worlds Apart. I'm Diana. This is Odinn. Canonically Australian and teaching us about Australian culture. I swear we'll get to the actual podcast in a sec, but I'm fascinated by the concept of you guys not having chestnuts over a roaring fire, and instead having fucking shrimps on the Barbie or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, dude, we out here vibing. I'm posting it in the Discord and Arts channel. But this is like our canonical Santa at Christmas.
Oh my god. Lav, can you pull this from the Arts channel and put it up on the screen if you haven't already?
Dude,
he's got a Mai Tai.
He's got a Mai Tai, dude. He's having fuck the milk and cookies. He wants a Mai Tai and a tan.
Oh my god. Audience, I need you to know that if you're not watching the YouTube version of the podcast and you're listening on Spotify or wherever, he's wearing, like, shorts that are the classic Christmas red color. He's still got a belt and a belt buckle on, and the shorts have, like, that white fur trim on them still. This is insane. Oh my god. There's another photo of him carrying a cooler.
It's an esky.
What the fuck is an esky?
That.
His shorts say ho 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 on them.
Damn right.
Oh my god. All right, what are we actually doing today besides talking about Australian fucking myths?
Well, we've kind of been on a roll recently when it comes to actual world lore. We're actually doing our job.
We're way ahead of schedule. This is
like
crazy.
Doing our job. It's crazy. But last time we talked about the lore of the Titans and, like, where they came from, how they came about, what their sort of outlooks are.
Yeah.
Is there anything you kind of want to discuss this time around?
Yeah, honestly, I know we've kind of left a lot of the Pantheon up to the guests that have come on the show, which I still want to do. Pantheons, at least in my head, or whoever the fuck you wanted them. You want a god of fucking, I don't
chicken
know.
Nuggets.
If you want a god of specifically chicken nuggets, I'm here for it. As niche as you want to make it, you want a god of moles, you want a god of Mai Tais in the summer, specifically on a beach surrounded by dead kangaroos, you do that. But I think we should focus a little bit on the gods that kind of caused the issues with the Titans and what caused them to be so decimated for so many centuries. And maybe think about, like, what the major player. And we can even bring in the old gods. If we want to bring in the god of monsters and have it be, you know, a part of what originally happened, or if we want to bring in, like, the god of malfortune and trickery that Jade made and all that sort of stuff. But I think we don't have to go super in depth on it. So we can be like, oh yeah, we already talked a little bit about the god of lore and the god who kept the records of everything. We introduced the concept of some of the now evil gods actually having been against the whole anti-Titan regime at the very beginning, and that's why they're considered evil nowadays by the winning side. So yeah, I kind of want to sprinkle some more god lore in.
Okay. So you mentioned like main players or like the main deities that were like, I want this world to be ours kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So like was because I'm assuming one god didn't do it alone. I'm assuming.
I think so. I mean, it
Okay.
sounds like they're kind of like aliens functionally that arrived here and then were like, this is mine now.
Yeah. Classic invasion. Love it.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I tell you, hey, a god rocked up or a couple of gods rocked up and they started taking over, what's the kind of god of what kind of jumps to your mind first?
I mean, the classical thing, especially in like Abrahamic religions, is like a single god of creation. But what if the god of creation was actually just fucking a god of maybe, I don't know, like decimation or something like that, that didn't actually create the world and wasn't actually a progenitor god, but was instead what made the building blocks of the elements available to all the other gods? So almost like how when you have to separate Legos and you have that one special piece that separates them.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any? Okay, yeah. So he's like that.
So like a
In
god
the
of ruin?
cosmic world. Yeah, kind of. Where it's like not completely destroying everything and then making it unusable, but it's more like here's a god of almost like a god of recycling.
A god of breaking it down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe like almost like a god of decay, or maybe it developed into a god of decay after a while or something. But I want to focus on that Lego separator of the pantheon.
Like rot?
Yeah, well, because I don't know, because rot kind of implies that things are
Breaking
unusable, but the gods wouldn't see it that way. The gods would see it as, I don't know, reuse.
I wanna read it. I understand your concept. Like it's
like,
because we mentioned last time, like they pulled pieces of the Titans out to like break them down a
Minecraft
little
blocks.
bit. So what are some other words for like rots? A god of corrosion.
Erosion's good.
Corrosion. Deterioration.
Ooh.
Those are like the taint
It's
is
all
one of
just
them
like,
for some reason. But words similar to like rot or time or anything like that is like deterioration or decompose.
fragmentation.
Fragmentation.
Oh my god, what if it's the... Okay, I'm looking at words that are synonyms for shred. And there's things that say like tatters and snippets, remnants, fragments. Maybe... Oh my gosh. Okay, so what if this god is considered the god of remnants? And they're considered like the... almost like preserver by modern society. And the other gods are like, oh yeah, that's the god of remnants, not revenants. And they like almost use it as a joke because they know none of the mortals realize what actually happened and what that god of revenants actually did.
I like that.
But then how would modern mortals worship it? Would they just be like, oh yeah, this god is a god of almost like memories, maybe? Or I don't know. I don't know how to interpret that. Because we have how the old gods would interpret it and how the old gods used it. But how do people now look at this guy?
It's hard because there's so many words that can cover this, but I don't know. How would you look at a god that you don't really remember or know what he did? Truly, anyway.
Yeah.
Would he take on the guise of a different kind of god? Like a scribe?
I think so. Or maybe the other gods turned on him after they used him.
because they were scared of what he could do.
They were scared of, yeah, him being like the loose thread, the evidence of what he previously did. And they were scared, like, oh, what if he ever uses this power of tearing apart, things on us? So maybe they stripped him of his power. They call him the god of remnants as a joke, but they tell mortals, like, oh, yeah, it's one of our lost brothers. No one really knows where his pantheon went. Like, oh, he was beset upon by powerful beings long ago. And then in reality, it's like his own people turned on him.
I kind of love that. That gives a really interesting lore to the gods themselves. So, what about the gods who were against what they did to the Titans?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of hinted. I imagine they would kind of fall into two camps, right? The ones that were against it and then just decided, I want nothing to do with this. Like, if any mortals come and worship me, that's fine, but I'm not going to take part in the initial creation. So almost like gods that would come back around to being new gods. They weren't there when these mortal races came into being, when the first gods took the first building blocks and started building stuff because they were too disgusted by it. And then they maybe came back later, maybe they didn't. And then maybe there were gods who accepted it and
Okay.
were like, oh, the Titans already lost. Clearly, we were more powerful than them. I guess it's natural selection. Like, oh no, I didn't really want this to happen. It feels a little evil, but I can sleep at night. And then maybe there's gods that straight up just got defeated by the other gods and were resigned to be the like evil ones in modern lore, where the gods
Yeah.
that won said, hey, now we're gonna make everyone who's alive hate you. We're gonna turn you into the god of evil or something like that.
It could also be based off like the gods that were against taking down the Titans in the first place. The world just didn't work without all the gods. It just didn't make sense. Like the ones that
Yeah.
wanted to take over were like trying to sculpt this world, but without the other gods covering bases that these ones couldn't, the world just wasn't connecting. Like their first trial run of mortals could have died out because certain aspects didn't survive the initial trial run without the other gods. So when they asked the gods to come back to help them and the world worked, it was great. But then the initial ones who took down the Titans started having whispers towards their mortals, which made these ones that came back the bad gods.
Yeah. And then it's like, well, now all these mortals kind of depend on you. You can't leave again.
Yeah, you can't just go.
Like a fucked up form of like almost like slavery. Like almost if one of the gods did, like if they tried to leave again, the other gods would stop them from leaving and they're kind of just trapped.
Which, in some sense, those gods that are borderline trapped here now would begin to resent the mortals, even the ones that like support them, which would add to the initial, oh, these are bad gods. These gods hate us. So,
oh, that's really cool. I like that a lot. Okay. So it falls into like 4 different camps then, which gives us a lot of variety when it comes to the scale of like good and evil, and it gives us a lot of moral grayness to work with.
Yeah.
What sort of god do you think would fall into that camp of like we didn't want this, but we were needed for life to survive? So we kind of have to, and we're stuck now.
See, this is where it gets difficult, like dividing those gods amongst each other to where one, it makes sense to like, for example, a god of the earth. You kind of need a god of the earth to keep the earth going in a sense.
Yeah.
So I feel like we're going to look at it from like one of the god's perspectives. Like the earth god, did he see this as an opportunity to become an all-powerful deity of the earth, where the foundation is built off of him? Or is it like, I'm coming back to put together this rubble that I never wanted in the first place, and now I'm here?
Oh.
It's like how Atlas has to hold up the world.
Yeah, very good analogy. That's a good question. I feel like it should be. I mean, do we want him to have similar values as the Earth Titan? The same, like, oh, I've been around forever, I'm very stable and very wise sort of vibes? Or do we want him to be like the opposite? Or do we want him to do something in between? I feel like that would kind of inform what side he takes.
Would he respect Kato?
Yeah. Oh man, can you imagine you're praying to an earth god for like a bountiful harvest from like fertile soil and all that, and then in return your earth god is sending at least a little bit of those good vibes back towards his ancestor who was really Kato.
Which is
Oh,
where Kato could be pulling those Minecraft blocks from
yeah.
to start
That could be the
forming himself
catalyst.
back up.
God, that'd be so cool. Do you think the earth god knows that Kato's actually like awakening again, or do you think Kato's keeping a secret somehow? Or I mean, I imagine they know, but do they know that like, does the new Earth God know that he's fueling the old Earth God? Or do you think he's just sending his prayers into like the dead skeleton of what was once his ancestor?
I think he will catch on. I don't think Kato is at a point where it's obvious yet. Because
Mhm.
to rebuild an Earth a Titan, I feel like would take a very, very, very long time, and it's only been like what 400 years, I think you said, since.
Yeah, since they got trapped. But his
Yeah.
hand is shooting up.
Do they know it's his hand?
I mean, the mortals have an idea.
True.
I guess the question isn't whether or not they realize it's him. The question is more like, oh, does the Earth God realize that he's the cause of it? Or is he just like, oh shit,
Oh, okay, I'm with you now.
Kato's coming back?
I don't think he realizes he's the cause of it yet.
Oh.
I
Which
feel
then
like,
begs the question, what happens if the other gods find out? Like, are they gonna believe him when he says, holy shit, I had
yeah.
no idea, I swear?
So I feel like I'm gonna write down notes on good gods and bad gods, but I'm gonna put them in quotations because our good gods are actually bad and our bad gods are actually good, just to fuck with our
Yeah.
minds a little bit
This won't
more.
suck to read later.
Yeah. So going off that just initial discussion, Earth God bad.
Earth God bad.
He
But
didn't want this world, but he had to come
yeah.
back to put the pieces together so that there was a
Hmm.
foundation for things to live.
Yeah. Maybe he like doesn't interact with mortals very much because he's almost like ashamed of how they turned out. And so the mortals kind of see him as this cold, uncaring god. They still worship him because you can't not worship an earth god, especially when you're that tied to the, farming and agriculture and things like that. That's pretty solidly earth stuff. Same with
Mm,
traveling, mountain travel in particular. So the mortals worship him anyway, but he's just kind of like he doesn't want to have to care about them almost, or he
yeah.
feels guilty caring about them, so he redirects it.
Yeah.
So that's why the mortals see him as bad somewhat. They're like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, he doesn't give a fuck. It's like, no, he does. It's not necessarily for you, but like kind of, but also not.
Well, here's another question: do we have like neutral gods as well?
Ones who were just like, we'll stick with the winning side.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Or ones that have like accepted the responsibility and accepted the reality, but refuse to pick a side. Essentially, their only care is the things living for them now.
Ooh. That's a good question.
Because I absolutely understand there being the gods that are like, this is our world and we need to look after it and yada 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 and like progression and power, blah. Then there's the gods
Mhm.
that are like, we're here because we have to be. If we leave, it all falls apart, even if one of us does. There would have
Mhm.
to be those who are like, I'm here for our children, essentially.
Ooh. What about a god of like ideas and inspiration and creativity?
A god of arts and crafts.
Sort of more on a grandiose level where the very idea that the gods had to tear apart the elementals was like he kind of was okay with it because to a degree that's a new idea and it would have led to a bunch of mortals also having new ideas and potentially like if that makes sense. I don't know if what
Okay,
you're doing the mind blown thing.
what
You
if
literally
what if
made a
we
mind blow.
what if we don't have that? What if we don't have like a god of neutrality? What if we go the route of like the Sisters of Fate?
Yeah. Oh, I love fate concepts so much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like fate, destiny, or like prophecy, whatever you want to call it. But these
Yeah.
entities that revolve around each other that just know
Hmm. Good
because
idea. That's smart.
this because the Sisters of Fate are just fucking
Yeah.
So cool. And I love them so much. Greek mythology, love it. So we could have that as like our neutral gods, these entities that no one really knows much about other than they are insanely powerful and they know things.
So they would have foreseen everything happening. Like
they could have been around when the Titans were.
Yeah.
But they weren't able to take them down. The gods couldn't take these things down.
Oh, so you're saying like, oh, I see.
They are the fates, essentially, of both mortal and divine.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Do we want it to be... Okay, wait. What is it in Greek mythology again? Because there's like 3 sisters usually, right?
Sisters of Fate, yes.
They have different domains, or are they all just kind of the same thing?
I believe it varies in sort of who tells you. Because the main depictions I've seen of them are not really trustworthy. I've seen them from my all-time favorite movie, Disney Hercules, where they have an eyeball and it bounces between them, and they're really funny, and they're obsessed with Hades because Hades is hot. But
no one told me Hades is hot.
Have you not seen Disney Hercules Hades?
Buddy.
Not even the movie.
Do I need to tap the metaphorical
Not even like just a picture of Hades.
I don't think so.
Girl, look up Hades Disney.
Hercules, Disney, Hades. This is him? I thought he'd have facial hair.
Nope.
I thought that was... I never got that was Hades before for some reason.
Dude, can we please watch Disney Hercules together one day?
Yeah, how long is it?
It's like an hour and a half.
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, cool.
Wait a sec. Is this the guy from... You know what? I know what it was. I thought this was the guy from Fantasia.
Oh, okay. Yep.
They're the same person in my head.
No. This is Hades, and one of the best, if not the best, Disney villain, personally.
The OG dad bod, honestly.
Yeah. Sisters of Fate. Okay. So the Sisters of Fate, known as Moirae in Greek mythology, are 3 goddesses who personify destiny, controlling the life and death of mortals, and even gods by weaving, measuring, and cutting the thread of life.
Okay.
Their names are Clotho, the spinner, who spins the thread. Lachesis, I think it's pronounced, the alator, who measures it, and Atropos, the inevitable, who cuts it.
Oh.
So it seems like one creates the life, one measures its length, and then one cuts it.
Okay.
When it reaches its end.
But in our world, it's going to be more tied to the plane itself, and it's going to determine the fate of things that shouldn't, in theory, have had an end. So maybe it's something more along the lines of, maybe we can make it less like a string that begins, has a middle, and then runs out, and more like a cycle of some variety.
Like a circle.
Almost like a cycle of some variety. Something that has 360 degrees, perhaps. In a rotund fashion. Maybe akin to like a leaf falling and dying, but also technically being fertilizer for another plant down the road.
So like reincarnation in a sense.
Yeah. Or kind of thinking of it just like in that circular way, in the same way that like the moon goes through phases. I'm basically saying like,
okay,
reincarnation in circles as opposed to a finite line.
Okay. Like photosynthesis. Synthesis.
Photosynthesis? Yeah.
Okay.
Sort of. Yeah.
So it goes through cycles of life multiple times in its life, in its existence. Sorry.
Yeah, almost like have you ever seen someone who instead of thinking of it like, oh God, I'm trying to think of a good like video game analogy for this, but all I can think of is that one movie where what's her fuck curves the bullet, where they have that big test. I promise it's related. Yes, exactly.
Great movie, by the way.
Didn't they have? I wish I could remember the name. I hope the audience knows what we're talking about. What the fuck is that? Are you Googling it?
Yep.
Thank you.
Wanted. I was thinking Taken,
Wanted.
but that's Liam Neeson.
Yeah, who's the lady in it?
Angelina Jolie.
Okay, Angelina Jolie. But in that movie, is that the one where the assassinate? Assassinate? What is
We're
the
doing great
assassination
today, dude.
contracts come out in like some form that then has to be translated into another form or something like
I
that.
believe
There's
so.
like some
Yes, they're given
yes,
names and they have to take them down.
yeah, but it's done with this like massive machine that has like centuries and centuries and centuries of logs that someone specifically has to interpret. But if you look at it, you step back and you look at it on a room scale, it's like um it's a loom. It's a loom.
Yes, thank you. Oh my god, I was trying to figure that out myself.
After Hercules, we're watching Wanted.
Bet I'll add it to the list.
Almost like a tapestry almost. Or
Yeah.
what about a painting?
Okay, like the. Can you elaborate on that a bit more for me? Sorry.
So maybe this I'm talking about more like the personification of the fate as some sort of art form, right? If you have the traditional fates be people who are weavers or looms or they're, creating and cutting string, then maybe we can have someone who's instead of creating and cutting string, they're adding and painting over details in a painting where all the history is still there. It's just somewhat overwritten over time and it looks different in different lights. And that way any prophecy can be interpreted in a bunch of different ways. You can look at it as a sum of everything that's in the layers beneath it, or you can look at it in one type of lighting versus another, or at a different angle, or upside down. I'm talking about this in grand metaphorical senses, but I feel like it kind of fits for a fate god to be painting related.
It does. I really like that. It's kind of like when you tear a coloring page in half and give two people each half, and they put it back together. Makes a picture, but you both see something differently.
Yeah, I like that. And then that could lead to some really cool interpretations of player characters and NPCs who are trying to like interpret the fate gods, meanings and messages.
Can you imagine like dream sequences with the fate gods where you wake up and you wake up in a dream and you just see this person like throwing paint over a canvas and they step to the side and you just see this fucking mural?
Yeah. Oh my god. Or like those fucking do you remember when VR headsets first came out and artists especially, were creating like 3-dimensional paintings?
Yes.
Maybe, this god talks to you and the entire time they're splattering paint into the air seemingly randomly. But then at the very end of the dream, they take your hand, they walk you 3 feet to the left and they turn your head 90 degrees, and looking at the layers of paint like in a 3-dimensional sense makes it all of a sudden look like what you've been trying to see the whole time.
Yes. And would they just speak in riddles and the painting's the answer in a sense?
I think so. Yeah, it's like no matter how hard you try, unless you're really an expert at interpreting this sort of stuff, it's gonna seem like nonsense until you've actually experienced it, which is why the prophecies are so cryptic.
Because we have the Sisters of Fate, obviously, but in Norse mythology, you have the Norns, which are like the exact same 3 sisters, essentially a fate, who weave, spin, and determine the destinies of the gods and mortals. Do we want to have multiple deities of fates, or do we just want to have the one?
Oh, that's a good question. What if we have a slew of them? What if we have 7? 1 for every color of the rainbow. 6! Because indigo and blue are basically the same thing, and listen, indigo, you're not fucking slick. Okay.
Okay.
Maybe if we have like, the whole red, orange, yellow, blue, green.
Red, orange, yellow, and green. Blue, indigo,
whatever the
violet,
fucking last
and
one is. Yeah, that's it. And maybe they all kind of pertain or are associated with a different aspect of life in some way. And it's like if you're trying to interpret a certain prophecy or another, then you focus on one goddess or another, depending on your needs. But pretty much no matter what, every prophecy tends to have an aspect of most of them. It just might be a little bit more of one color versus another. We'd have to come up with what all the 6 things represent, but I think it'd be kind of a cool concept to play with.
It would be really, really cool. And it would make sense having like, if there were 6 things that outlive both gods and titans, like 6 of them would be powerful.
A good number.
Yeah, it's
a great number.
Solid even number.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
God,
I
can you
like that.
imagine fucking taking a party of exactly 6 players too, and then making it so that they're all,
The
without
follower of
telling them,
one.
associated with one of the
Yep.
God, I
So
love shit like that.
what would we call them? Obviously, there's like the Sister of Fate. So we want to have a fancy name for these guys, or that we can come back to because naming things is scary.
Maybe thinks it's hard. Yeah, I think we should come back to it. I think we
I
should
was
come up with the base principle.
I'll just call it the 6 gods of fate currently.
Yeah.
6 gods of fate. Outlived or more powerful than gods and titans.
Yeah, predated both of them probably. Gods probably tried to like go to them and ask them how things would turn out, or tried to bring them under their control, thinking that they, could control fate that way. And they were probably so powerful that they outdid the gods themselves, but didn't exact revenge. They more just like rebuked them and rebuffed them.
Did
And then
they
said,
injure
"Hey,
a
we're not
god?
telling you shit." That would be cool. Used a god as an example, maybe.
Mhm.
Oh, because is it Norse mythology that has Tyr as the maimed god, or is that straight up
Tyr.
D&D?
I believe that might just be Tyr the
Wasn't
Maimed.
I think there was like a god that had a
Realms.
hand
Yeah,
bitten
it's
off by a
D&D.
dog. Shit.
Oh, that's
But
fucking. Oh, whose hand? Yeah, that was Tyr. Tyr got his hand bitten off by Fenrir, but that was more of a test rather than like
a punishment.
anything because he wanted to prove Tyr was he wanted to prove Fenrir was a good wolf and Tyr.
A good boy.
And when Tyr tried to tie him up with the chain with the ribbon, Tyr freaked. Fenrir freaked. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
You are correct. No. Tyr did get bitten, but I think it's more so in D&D because it comes out with Forgotten Realms. Tyr is the maimed god. So,
what if there is a similar maimed god in our culture who was like more so than a hand, more like beaten within an inch of its life and allowed to live, and now it represents. I don't know what it would represent nowadays. I'm sure it's something twisted from what it originally was, but maybe that's the one that the Fates targeted and we're like, hey, if you try and fuck with us again, we'll do this to all of you. And they hold up like a fucking severed head with just enough spine intact to still survive. And then nowadays, that imagery is used. It doesn't have to be exactly that, but like that sort of like beaten with. I was gonna say,
is that god kept fucking prisoner by the Fates, or?
I think it would be. I don't think so. I don't think the Fates are the type of people to keep things prisoner.
Okay.
I think it's more like, if anything, that god in particular probably is still worshipped and is still powerful to a lesser extent than it used to be. And maybe nowadays it forbids its followers from fucking with fate in any way. And even like praying to those fates is considered like absolute heresy for some reason or another in the myth. But the real reason is because it was punished so bad.
So it would be a god of like natural occurrence of life. Like
I think that would be one interpretation.
Yeah, from like A to Z, you stay on this path, you don't fuck with it, your fate is set, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, what if that's the god of like
fear,
of order, of fear, dude?
Because it could have been the god of order, and the fates could have fucking put the fear of the fates into him, and now he is just a coward.
And then became the god of fear, and then maybe after like a fucking century or two, another god of order had to step up once society's formed enough to need it naturally again.
And we talked about manifestation.
Yeah. Oh shit, that introduces so many questions. It's like, holy shit, how do they regard each other now? Do they even talk to each other? The old god and the new god? Oh man. That's really cool. I like that a lot.
Well, here's a question. When the gods came to this world, did they go to the fates first?
Ooh.
Did they rock up and go to do something and then sense this presence of something else that was stronger?
So. I think they probably would have found out about maybe they would have stepped in and started bullying the Titans, and then the fates were like, observing. Not even interfering, but just observing. And the gods turned around and they were like, what, you want some? And then then they found out what the fates did. And then the fates were like, then they try. Okay, so they arrive. They bully Titans. Fates watch from afar, but are noticed by the gods because of their power, and it's really hard to ignore that kind of power when they're watching you and made manifest. The gods turn to the Fates. They're like, hey, what the fuck do you want? And start fighting the Fates. The gods realize what the Fates can do mid-battle. They start fighting even harder to try and control the Fates, realizing that they control the plane itself and its future. The Fates whoop the god's ass and then
One
take that
specific
one
god.
god. They target one specific god in particular. They kind of like do enough to shove the others out and then force them to watch as they beat the shit out of that one god, maybe. The god of what used to be order.
I feel like it's not even beat the shit out of. I feel like it was just one swift thing.
Oh,
That just
really?
like they just waved a finger and this god got annihilated in some sense. And that was just
And what
like
if it felt like forever for that god, but then everyone else saw and they were like, what the fuck is this? You just like, what the hell? And then the god came back and was like, don't do it. Like, turn around, stop. And like, I don't know, witnessed horrors and came back to tell the tale.
they could have made an example. What do you think? Like, this is gonna sound like a really weird concept, but the feeling of fear, like when you feel fear, really weird question. What is one part of your body you feel it in most?
Throat. Easily throat.
What if they ripped out his throat?
I like that.
And
Man.
he became the god of fear who couldn't scream.
That's so cool. Dude, you're cooking. That's great. That's a great idea. Holy shit.
Cooking up on the Barbie, mate.
For Christmas.
Great, man.
Okay. That's so cool. So, ripped out his throat. Oh.
And if he couldn't talk and he couldn't heal, or if a god of healing couldn't fix him, which would make sense for a god of fear too, because if you visited a god of fear and there was just this entity that was like hunched over at its throat, caught in a visage of screaming but no sound, that's daunting.
Especially if like basically everything else is left intact too, and all you can do is like watch its mouth move in a nonsensical fashion, you know?
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's creepy. I like it. Okay, so they tore his throat out. No one could heal him. The other gods were like, oh shit, we can't fucking heal this guy. Maybe we should
something's different.
Just continue about our business.
Yeah.
Yeah. They go back to beating the shit out of the Titans. The Fates still watch. The gods are a little uncomfortable by it, but they kind of get the sense of you.
Which would like eventually also give the premise of the gods trying to find a way to become even more powerful.
Ah, you think they would spend like the last 4 centuries trying to be like, there's still more power we can get, like getting even more greedy?
Exactly. If these things took over a world in the blink of an eye, but there's still these things they can't beat, like anyone would be like, I need to figure that out.
What if that becomes the eventual goal for the quote unquote good gods, and that's the tools that they use the mortals to do? So like basically every holy quest to gain power for a certain god, and basically every eventual outcome, every like grand artifact that's created in the holy name of a god is some piece of a puzzle that will eventually, if they keep getting their way, lead them to taking over the Fates.
Yeah.
So that means every saint throughout history, functionally, at least the ones that don't like the Fates, that come from the quote unquote good gods, which are actually the bad gods. I'm so sorry, audience. We're creating like layers. Like we're creating 2 storylines at the same time. There's like what the mortals think happened and what actually happened. So sorry, but also congrats if you're keeping up, because this is the kind of shit that amazing world building is made out of. What was I saying? Fuck me, even I can't keep up with it anymore.
Fucking. Oh shit! I just had it and it's gone now.
Basically, what I'm saying is like every holy quest and every bit of sainthood just gets the gods closer and closer to overruling the Fates. In which case, everyone suffers.
Well, I mean, yeah, if we're going to do the process of like Cato rebuilding himself with mind blocks, why couldn't the gods do that to gain more power?
Yeah.
again,
Yep.
it's a manifestation thing. It's a semblance of power and strength that just grows over time. And like as the fates get older, obviously they would unlock and learn more things to grow stronger. The gods would be doing the same over the past 400 years, even without getting other pieces. Naturally,
Mhm.
they would grow stronger.
Yeah. Do you think the fates can foresee their own fate, or is it like that's
Oh,
the
100%.
limitation? You think?
I
So
feel
they're
like they
like
know.
seeing it coming.
Yeah,
Mm.
because if you look at it from like a player's sense, if you follow, for example, for the good gods, I say in quotations for the audio listeners, um, the
Oh
god of
yeah, I
the
do keep doing air quotes. I'm so
yeah,
sorry if
like,
you're an audio listener. Fuck.
yeah, uh, god of, let's say, sun, for example, a good god who just wants to become more stronger. If you were a follower of the god of the sun and were like a warlock, for example, so like you made a deal unknowingly, and this
Mhm.
god had you going to a certain place to unlock a certain charm or find a certain thing, yada yada yada. What if this one thing was actually something that could help him ascend to a fate?
Oh, so like,
Or become strong enough to kill the fates? And then what
oh,
happens when the fates die?
that would be fucking crazy for a player character.
Yeah.
But in D&D, it has been done. There's I think by the time this comes out, I've talked about it on my channel as well, but someone's doing a Kickstarter here soon. This isn't an ad, where they're basically making balanced combat with gods and like CR 30 plus combat where you can get 10th level spells and you
Oof.
can have legendary points is what they call it, where you can do some like absolutely insane shit,
I
fight
want
death
that.
itself. And yeah, so
That
it's
sounds really
it's
cool.
been done, not by WotC, but it's been done, and apotheosis is a thing. Ugh.
God.
What if what would the fates think of mortals then? Would they just be caught off guard by how easily some mortals are able to overturn fate's power when the gods couldn't do it?
We'll get like the very like cliche easy answer is, well, they would have known. But
Yeah.
like, I don't know. I feel like giving the fates some sense of personality is a thing that we need, because six
Hmm.
deities that are all powerful in every way, just being like, yeah, I know, is kind of boring.
Yeah,
Um,
like they could see their own fate, but they didn't do shit about it. It's like,
yeah.
why?
Well, they could all embody like an emotion as well if we wanted to.
True.
One could be curious, one could be jealous, one could all those kinds of things. So they see these mortals go through life in such a short span of time, becoming these potential gods in this world.
Hmm.
They gotta have emotion about that.
Yeah.
And like, this is TTRPG. We play in worlds where there's a set plan or prophecy of fate, and we skip the fuck over it regularly.
Yeah.
So obviously there would be like moments of fate that are changed because of these creatures.
Hmm.
And how would that affect the fates? Does it
That's
hurt them? Does it make them
that would
weaker?
be. But then, okay, yeah. Oh, that's such a good metaphor too, not only for how like TTRPG players tend to completely derail whatever the DM has in store, but also a good metaphor for genuine like art, especially for using painting as a medium for this. Like open to interpretation, you know.
Yeah, if they
Not for the
make a
gods, but for
if they make
the
a wrong
mortals.
stroke of paint, a wrong color, a wrong te- uh what's the word, texture, or whatever
Yeah.
you can use for that. Because what if like one of the good gods, again quotations, what one of the good gods found out if you fuck with fate, it hurts the fates and makes them weak for a brief moment. That's your
Oh.
opportunity. That's a chance.
God, can you imagine how long it would have taken the gods to notice that that was their weakness too?
Yeah. Because we would have had to have something happen.
Mm.
Or like if we do a campaign in this world where we have an event where fate is changed, and then there's like a
Mhm.
blip in the world or something happens in the world that echoes.
Yeah.
That's a
Oh
hint.
my gosh. Can you imagine the party getting pulled out of town? This is so, like... You ever play Inscription?
No, I don't know what that is.
Should? Okay, well, don't look it up. You should play it. It's a Steam game. It's really cool. You won't like it at first, but you will grow into it, and it's like got a really cool story. But it's kind of meta in the same way that Doki Doki Literature Club is, a little bit.
Okay.
Not at all like that, but kind of less of a dating game, more of a fun card game. And
Gotcha.
can you imagine, like, in a TTRPG having that meta aspect where it's like, hey, you finish a quest, and instead of your god greeting you and smiling and you going back to town and celebrating being showered with gold, everything stops for a moment, the world freezes, and then all of a sudden everything melts away into like matrix level white, and it's just an empty, almost like a staging room for the gods or for the fates, and then all of a sudden this creature made of, whatever the fuck color happens to be associated with whatever you fucked with the most out of the 6, shows up and says, hey, this wasn't supposed to happen. And then gives some small little speech.
Oh!
And then just sets you back in the world. And then the party has to sit there and be like, DM, are you talking to us or are you talking to the party members? And then you just kind of look at them and you're like, both. It's almost like when
dude, imagine that, like sitting at a table, if I was running a game for you and you guys did something, I'm like, all right, hey Diana, there's a room of white, don't do that again.
Yeah,
so what are you guys doing?
Exactly.
Like, that would,
and it's like, I didn't, like, my player didn't see that. It's like, no, yeah, your player character saw that.
Mm-hmm.
Your player character blinked and they're back in the forest.
Yep.
It's like that scene
Diana,
in Assassin's Creed.
Hold on one sec. Diana, that's a fucking incredible idea, dude. Holy
right?
shit.
Can you, because it would like tear apart the fabric. It's giving Lovecraftian, where like above the table we know it's a game, but now
it's above the
game,
above the
you
table
also
now.
realize it's a game for the gods, and you're on a way bigger stage than you thought. It's cool. It's like,
it really, it drives home the idea that like there is more to this world than you realize. Like, it's nothing is revolving around you. You're just part of the story.
Yeah. And can you imagine going back, if you're a paladin or some shit and you go back to your god and you're like, hey, I just saw the freakiest fucking thing, and the god is like, you saw what?
What did you see?
What color did you say they were? and
like,
imagine seeing your god scared for the first time.
Well, in that moment too, like, would you see that the fate hurt? Like, clutching something, like looking like they're in pain. And they're like, do not do that again. And then you're back. And then you go tell your god, and he was like, what did you do?
Like, and are you sure?
And their curiosity just like takes over.
Yeah.
It's like, what did you do? How did you do it? What did they look like? Like, just interrogating you in a much more intense, almost
like mask off,
almost scary way. Like, the bad comes out.
So cool. That would be such a good like end cap to a high level campaign too, because you get to level 20 and you're like, oh, we fought basically everything we could fight. Even after past level 13 in D&D, combat gets unreasonable, and you're like, okay, great, like, the game's clearly basically over, and then that happens.
Yep.
Oh. You're like, holy shit, the game just started.
Yeah.
Fucking insane.
And then, like, in a new campaign, you jump forward 100 years, and there's a war between the gods and the fates now. They figured it out. And now that like the gods are purposely destroying these strings of fate, or these paintings.
Can you imagine too seeing a war like that, and then your future character, several generations ahead, 1 or 2 generations ahead, sees, some god wielding a powerful artifact that your past character gave them, and using it for evil against the fates, and having to pick a side without the meta. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool.
But what have we been eating this year?
I don't know. This is cool. This is sick. This might be the coolest, like, potential, I don't know, like, not even really a lore drop, but still the most, like, gut punch thing that I think I've ever seen someone attempt in a TTRPG.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope we get to do it, because can you fucking imagine?
Well, see, here's the thing. Like, this storyline is fucking incredible. This
Mhm.
would take in game so
fucking long.
so long to set up, to like
Yeah.
drop subtle hints, to like create these events. And like as a DM personally, I would be so frustrated. I would just want to tell and like throw the scene at them, and oh,
Yeah. God, we can never have Lav in the fucking party now. Lav, I'm sorry.
we can. She just can't. She just can't be like a cleric or a warlock.
Yeah. Sorry, Lav. She doesn't like
We love you,
clerics or
Lav.
warlocks anyway. It's fine.
Cleric was like once her favorite class before
I know.
barbarian. Oh god.
God, I was gonna say earlier, it's very much like if any of you guys have ever played audience Assassin's Creed 2, I think it is. There's a point where you're in the Animus. How far into Assassin's Creed have you played, Odin?
All of them.
Okay, so you know that scene where you go into the Animus and at one point you talk to Juno, I think
Yes.
it is, and the entire time you're in a third-person camera in all of the games. She's talking to fuck me, Ezio, is it? I can't remember which assassin, but the
Mhm.
entire time her face is pointed at where the third-person camera is over his shoulder.
Yes.
Because she's talking to Desmond.
Yep.
And she knows the Animus exists and all that sort of shit.
Yeah. Crazy.
Same meta vibe.
Yeah, that's such a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Because well, like as a DM, like I don't know about you, but me, when I'm talking to my players, I talk to them in their characters.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
you address them by the character name. So if a DM was like, "Hey, Gerald," blah blah blah, blah, and then suddenly just went Odin, by the way,
Yeah.
I'd just be like, "What?
Yeah.
Like, what do you want?" Oh, God, we're on a roll, dude. 3 episodes into the new year.
Damn. Yeah.
I'm actually
Jesus.
like, dude, if we keep going this way, we will probably be able to run something. Like genuinely.
I hope so. Because we're well on our way to like. I mean, even what we have so far is enough to be able to see little Easter eggs into early campaigns and have it come to fruition like fucking years later and many, many tens of levels later.
I'm gonna have to lock in and like rewatch a bunch of the episodes and get the notes up because we're gonna need them with the shit that we've been like mismatching. I think like with this lore that we're setting now, I need to start like laying out the guidelines.
Mm-hmm. Poor audience. If any of you guys have been keeping track so far, I'm so sorry if we've upended all of your your notes. I'm sure one Worlds Apart super fan out there is just like, well, fuck, and like flips their desk.
You're better than us. We love you. So
yeah. To be fair, there are a decent amount of gods that we built that are going to be newer. Like Jade Squirrel is definitely going to be. It's born out of human suffering.
Yeah. So. God, fuck Jade.
That squirrel, man.
You're a menace.
Jade, if you're watching this, fuck you.
Fuck you. Love you. Fuck you.
Yeah. You're the best. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Well, shit.
I think,
just call it there.
I think we should because we've hit a good point.
Good. We got momentum.
We do. I'm feeling good.
Yeah. All right. Well, sassy. Sick. Bit of a shorter episode, but by God, that's probably one of the coolest things. This is probably one of my favorite episodes, honestly.
Me too. It's like, I loved this in every way.
What a great concept. Yeah. Oh. All right, Odin, where can people find you besides flexing into a camera at the beginning of podcast episodes?
You can find me at Odin_Sun on basically every single social media platform aside from Instagram, where you can also find me at Odie.rips. So if you like Pokemon cards, go check out Odie.rips. I'm opening a bunch of Pokemon cards, collecting, showing off collections, all that good stuff. I'm also trying to show support to some amazing TCG creators in Melbourne because they're absolutely incredible. The kindest people I have met in a very, very long time. And they deserve a lot of love and a lot of support. But if you're still interested in D&D, world building, TTRPG, and all that kind of good stuff, you can follow me at Odin_Sun on basically everywhere else. Diana, where can I find you?
Yay. Yeah, I'm Diana Faye. You can find me as at Diana the Rose on all platforms. So that means Blue Sky, Threads, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube, where I'm. Oh my gosh, and Twitch. I keep forgetting Twitch. live streaming is weird. But I'm
Yeah.
partnered over on YouTube and Twitch, putting out videos and streams and general content, talking about and answering questions related to TTRPGs. Usually on the DMing side, a little bit on the player side. I also do a lot of performances. Like every Sunday, you can find me in a Chains of Asmodeus campaign run by Madaloon, another Australian creator. Because
We love
apparently,
Maddie.
we do love Maddie. Apparently, I like Australian creators more than American ones.
Can we get Maddie on here one day?
Give
Sorry.
It's the what?
Can we get Maddie?
Yeah. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Yeah, I'll ask her actually if she wants to come on. Maybe, I don't know, next episode after that. I don't know.
Figure
it out. But yeah, I do a lot of TTRPGs. I do a lot of APs. I do a lot of conventions. But at Diana the Rose is where you can find me doing whatever. I will also say our amazing fucking love of our lives, most amazing human being ever. I'll keep saying amazing because she needs to hear it. Our editor, Lav, is at entity__edits on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Blue Sky. She edits the podcast, both the audio version that you're hearing and the video version that you're watching. Sometimes she does short forms for us. She might be doing thumbnails and things like that. She does a little bit of everything, and really, she's amazing. You can check her out on all of those socials. Again, that's at entity__. There's 2 of them, edits. Just don't steal her from us. We'll find you. We got 2 continents covered. Oh, watch out.
We'll find you. And speaking of beautiful creatures and human beings, Tobias, our incredible artist who has done the artwork for this channel, at Toby.exe on all platforms except for Instagram, where you can find him at Toby_Toby.exe on Instagram. If you need art of your D&D TTRPG characters, if you need monsters, if you need fucking world maps, this dude does it all. He is incredible. We love him with all our hearts, and Toby is number 1. Steal him from us and we'll kill you. And then also just check us out at Worlds Apart TTRPG. We're on YouTube. We're on Instagram, TikTok as well, I believe. We're all on it. Short form
TikTok
clips,
loves us.
all the good stuff. But thank you guys for listening. I'm really excited about this. This is really cool.
So fucking cool. Oh man, I gotta tell it. I want to tell so many people about this because it's such a cool concept for other DMs to take. But as someone who DMs for other DMs, I wanna drop it on them if I get the chance to run this world. It's so good. Let us know what you think, audience. We have a comment section. No one ever uses it except to yell at us about what was it that we said? We read our comments the other day. We'll end after this, I swear. But this is funny.
So a couple of episodes ago, I was talking about biscuits, and I called it a bicky.
Yeah,
and
that was it.
Diana thought it was a horrible word, and our comments, someone in the comments agreed with us. Agreed with her, sorry. Yeah,
actually,
technically.
Which is, there was one commenter, but shout out to you, commenter. To be fair, when we brought this up in a voice call earlier today, Bryn, who's been on the podcast, was like, what the fuck is a bicky? So it wasn't just me.
Okay, we need to end this. We love you guys.
Yeah, sorry.
Thank you.
Thanks, audience.
We'll catch you guys later. Bye.